Hello.
How are you feeling?
More human. Yeah, I have an appetite again, which is nice. At least, like, I don't know, let's see, does the view show here? It's like, it's a decent place to like have to lay still on a bed, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that looks pretty great.
It's an Airbnb somewhere out in Half Moon Bay, so. Also, I have no idea if you can hear it in the background, but there's like an automated buoy or lighthouse or something out in the out off the breakers, which does a beep every 8 seconds or so. It kind of drove me nuts for a while, but I've just tuned it out now. So, Mike, if it's cool with you, in an effort to preserve my voice, I was actually going to have you go ahead and run today's meeting. I'm happy to just kind of listen in unless anybody has any specific questions for me.
Sure, yeah, happy to help. Okay. Cool, yeah, I'll give another minute or two, see if anyone else shows up, and then we can get into it. Should be a quick one.
I will take notes for you.
Awesome, yeah, speaking of, I'll post a link to the notes. And if you can, everyone, please add your name to the notes. I'm not sure if these lists of names ever get used by like some machine learning algorithm to determine who had the best attendance or anything, but if it does, you want to be on it. So
I am told there are some at my employer who use these docs and these attendance lists to brag about how many meetings they went to. Yay.
awesome, cool. We have the first few roles here for sure, so I think we can get started and see if anything pops up. But hello, welcome for coming. Today is Thursday, March 14th. There is, I think, 11 days until the release. Nicholas, can you mute your computer, or is that Thomas? Maybe someone.
That's me. You don't like my super clickety clackety keyboard?
I don't think anyone likes your super. Thank you. Yeah, so today's March 14th, 11 days till the actual release is cut, hopefully. Thank you all for coming. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded right now, and thus you are expected to follow the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which basically boils down to don't be a jerk. So first up, as always, is enhancements with Claire. How are enhancements going?
Good. No changes since we last spoke on Monday, though I did see Aaron put a question in the chat that there are 31 listed in the query, which means I might have been doing math incorrectly for the past week. But I'll check on that. But no deferrals or exception requests since Monday or yesterday.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like there's 28 open and 3 closed. Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Claire. Are there any questions for Claire about the enhancements? I'm sure we'll dig into the 31 thing. Very cool. Very cool. Is Jorge? Oh, Jorge is online. Nice. How's CI signal going, Jorge?
It's going a lot better. So thanks to so currently one job is failing in master blocking, 4 flaking, 2 failing in 114 blocking, 5 flaking. Master upgrade. I think there are 2 jobs failing and all of them blocking. But the good news is that a lot of the flakes, a lot of the failed jobs are they just need a couple more runs to start cleaning up. There are a lot of there are some tests that are still flaking and keeping the jobs either as failing or flaking. And the big news is that thanks to the work by Lubomir, Jordan, Deems, and Justin, one of the big offenders, an issue with different resources and master upgrade has the last 2 runs were clear, I think. So we're just gonna keep on observing and see if anything comes up. Other than that, we are still monitoring a couple PRs that have yet to be merged. And hopefully these PRs will help make test grid a lot more greener. The first two are related to jobs and master upgrade, which, as I mentioned, is a lot of purple and a lot of red. But if we give it some time to run, hopefully it's gonna work out and go back to normal. And then the other big one is another PR that's open. So that's the last one, 678. We're hoping that that's going to resolve some ingress issues that have been showing up in the blocking jobs as related to ingress resources. I think timing out. And again, just waiting for it to be merged. CI signal wise, we'll keep on monitoring test grid and we'll poke people if anything comes up. But I think it is a little bit safe to say that we can go from green to yellow today.
Awesome. Great work, guys. Really nice.
Community effort. So any questions?
No, just an extra special shout out for everything y'all have done. It was really cool to see things improve over the past couple days.
Yeah.
Hi, Dims here. So just so we know the plan of action, right, for the 112.1 Golang. When we do get 112.1 Golang, there is stuff that we need to do both in test infra as well as main KK repository. And we have to land that, and then we have to revert the experimental patch that Justin had merged, and then watch the master upgrade one more time. Does that make sense to everyone?
I think so. Is there anything that we can start preparing? I saw there was a conversation about like maybe trying some tests beforehand or maybe preparing some things beforehand. How realistic would that be? Because it might save us some time.
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't much we can do right at this moment. The main thing that we're waiting for is to get a list of download from 112.1. Once that is available, we have to update the rules _go Bazel thingy. I left some notes on SIG testing, I believe. Me and James, we were talking about what are the list of things to do. So please take a look at that. And I'm not going to be around for the rest of the day, but I'll pop in now and then to check on things, and I'll come back in the evening. Sounds good?
I think so. I guess a part of me feels like maybe we should have an issue open to represent migrating to 112.1, because it sounds like you dumped a bunch of useful info in Slack, but I'm not sure there's an open issue for that.
Correct. Yes.
Because the other thing I feel like we should plan for. So we should hope for success here. I'm like, I can't even believe they're releasing Go this early for us. But if it doesn't work out, I feel like there is a list of commits that need to be reverted that's not going to be immediately apparent. And we may just want to have that list available to understand how much time is involved in reverting back to Golang 111, if that's the path that we have to take, to better give us an understanding of like our cutoff date for if we're still attempting to troubleshoot and it's not working by this cutoff date, we just have to revert to Go 111 and we go with the plan that we've developed ahead of time.
Yeah, I would support that. The only caveat here is the reverts might not be direct because we go from 111.5 to 112 and then from 112 to 112.1. So it'll be like two sets of reverts to get back to what we were before.
Yeah, whether it's reverts or commits to get back to where we were before, whichever. Yeah. But because it sounds like it's non-trivial, I feel like it's something we should hopefully plan for and then hopefully never have to use.
True. Yeah, the biggest problem there is the Go format stuff, I think. There's some lint or Go format, one of those. We have to patch things up. That would be the one which will cause the merge issues when we are doing a revert because things have moved on from where it was before, right?
And yes. was that super painful HTTP 2 update that you had to do? Was that also part of this effort?
Yes, that we'll have to, the x/net, yes, that needs to be reverted to.
Okay. Would Jordan, since you're going to be out for the rest of today, would Jordan be the best person to be the point of contact for a revert plan? Or
yes.
Who would you suggest? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, awesome. Let me get back to the notes. Awesome. Is there any other discussion on CI signal? Questions, comments, concerns? Awesome. Well, I think, trending from red to yellow is always nice. So good job, team. Next up is bug triage. Nico, how you doing?
Hey, Mike. I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing well. It's a little early for me and I'm a little tired, but I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking.
Good morning. So triage, it's going well from my observations, and the only open issues left are either needing documentation or there's document or remove Kubernetes conformance provider, cleanup tasks, and in terms of pull requests, there's a few which are recent, just been put into the milestone and need a review. I expect them to be resolved by tomorrow, probably. I pinged the Slack channels to get reviewed. And that's about it. From CI, most of the issues on the milestone remaining are on CI, which are about 20. And yeah, any questions?
No question, but this looks great. It's like you guys clearly did a lot of work over the last few days on getting these issues down, and it's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, awesome job, for sure. So if there are no questions, next up is test infra. I don't think Amit's here. Is anyone else from test infra here? Word, no worries. I'll just leave that color unselected for now. Next up is docs. Tunde.
Hello. So I'm filling in for Jean today. So the status from Doc is we our PRs are like the docs PR. Most of them, all of them are ready for review. So we are all green. The focus right now is just reviewing and approving PRs. That's it. Okay.
Awesome. Sunday. I don't see any release notes, folks here. That's no problem. I'm actually pretty familiar with what's going on with release notes, so I guess I'll just let you guys know. Dave took the Google Doc, made a pull request for it to update the template yesterday, but closed that. I'm not sure if he wants to work on some of the formatting stuff before he reopens it, but where they're at right now, I believe, is they're in the process of taking the Google Doc, which they've distributed for feedback from various people, and working through the format, and now they're in the process of turning it back into the template so that the tooling that cuts the branch can get that release note content. So I think they're pretty good. They were green yesterday. I'm going to give them green today. And that's that. I don't have the screen in front of me. Is anyone from comms here? I don't think so.
On the comms note, I know that I think like we more or less have the release blog post done. Is that right? I haven't actually caught up on the previous recordings yet. I just uploaded them. So one of the other things that's supposed to go out before the blog post is a set of key messages for the media, sort of like the cliff notes for like what's important about this release. So what could people do in this release that they couldn't do before, and what's different about this release. So given all of the tremendous work of everybody on CI signal related stuff today, working on those key messages is kind of my focus with the time that I have. That's my comms update.
Nice. Thank you, Aaron, for the lovely comms update. Next up is Hannes with release branch management.
Yeah, all good over here. Nothing really new. The next planned cut, RC1, is next Tuesday. And also I'll try to be available as good as I can to do things like yesterday, do a quick branch FF if we feel we need to. So yeah, I'll try to stay up to date in the sig-release channel, and otherwise just ping me if you want to have the release 114 fast forwarded.
Nice. While your update was truly excellent, Hannes, I think everyone is being a little distracted by the dog that's on the desk behind you and Maria. But that's awesome. RC1 is going to be super exciting, and glad that things have been going so smoothly this release with branch management, which is a big change and big improvement from 2 or 3 releases ago, and this for sure wasn't the case. Awesome. Release lead update, Aaron's here. So do you want to do the release lead update? The only thing I'll add with regard to release lead stuff is I'm going to be starting a new job next week. So I'm not going to be around on Monday and potentially Tuesday morning to be in the meeting. So just want to let you all know. But I'll be around for sure throughout the week. Aaron, do you want to do the release lead updates?
Sure, congratulations. And thanks a bunch for keeping things running while my body decided to shut down on me or get invaded by something, who knows, whatever. So I think we kind of discussed most of what I wanted to talk about with Golang 112. The key thing that I'm trying to keep track of here is not necessarily all of the technical details. You all are doing a wonderful job of that. I'm just trying to make sure that we have our key timelines in mind. So there is a very, very tiny amount of buffer built into the schedule in case something crazy comes up. This might be the something crazy. I still kind of don't know until it actually happens. So given the reasoning that was used to move us forward to go 112 in the first place and the pain that would be required to revert, I feel like this could be something worth slipping our schedule a couple days for, if absolutely necessary. And my thought process was going to be something like, we have the cutting of the RC sort of tied roughly to whenever code thaw happens. And code thaw is something I would be willing to push back by like a day or two to really make sure that we've had appropriate soak time. So if it turns out that the Golang release like lands worst case tomorrow, Friday, and you know we still are seeing some like crazy bumpiness over the weekend, then it may be that on Monday I make the call that we're gonna push back code thaw by 2 days. Historically, it's better to just like push it back once rather than playing a game of chicken. So that's what I feel like is on the table right now. That's why I feel like it's important to have the plans in place, and Hannes will keep you sort of in sync on that. But the idea is the reason the RC is tied up with code thaw is that way it's a build of like what was in the release 114. Changes go. I probably sound like Daft Punk right now. Sorry for the terrible internet. Okay, I think my internet is back. So the second item I wanted to raise was I realized we don't actually do scalability reports, or we haven't since 1.9. And I feel like that's kind of unfriendly to users who try to run their clusters at scale. I noticed this because a number of the tests that CI Signal have been chasing got removed from the jobs by having a disabled for large clusters tag applied to them, which, okay, great. That means the tests no longer run, so they no longer break at scale. But like, where and how can users find documentation of these behaviors that aren't expected to work at scale? So traditionally, I feel like in the past, that's what the scalability validation report was for. It was something that was authored by SIG Scalability, wherein they defined like the exact setup of the cluster that we did our scalability testing on to prove that yes, this release of Kubernetes meets our SLOs and SLIs. I feel like it would really be nice to have it, again, given the number of test cases I've seen punted due to that. That said, given that the last one of these rolled out in 1.9, if I don't see it like day of, I'm not going to block the release waiting for it. But I'm really hopeful that we can get that thing done. Any questions there?
I've never heard about that before, so I have no idea how this reports come to be. Is it correct that we just ask SIG Scalability for it and they will provide it? Or is there anything which we would need to do? Or
we ask them to do it. They have a template that they write their report using. They use a template to write the report, and my understanding is it's basically a description, a human-readable description of the job configuration that's used to run the performance and correctness jobs. But no, this is not like, this is by no means an additional set of responsibilities for the release team. We already have enough going on. This was just the collection of an artifact from a SIG that I feel like was kind of lost to the sands of time or accidents or something. So it could be that there's something in a playbook that needs to be updated. I'm going to continue to keep in touch with them.
Where do some previous ones live? Are they somewhere on GitHub?
Link to the two previous reports for 1.8 and 1.9. So they're linked off of that issue. They live inside of the sig-release repo. If you search for scalability validation, is another way to get to them.
Cool. Thank you.
The other thing is, for those of you who aren't to attend today's community meeting, this is today's cat t-shirt. Today's cat t-shirt is, I don't know, a cat blowing bubbles of cats because I was getting really happy about us actually making a release, and I didn't actually have my other like Code Freeze themed cat t-shirt available with me today. So you're getting this one instead, Cats in the Cloud. Mike, I will be planning on giving the release update today. My availability is still going to be a little bit spotty. I think you all have done a fantastic job of escalating and making decisions as appropriate. But if you do find you need somebody to be escalation point of last resort or to play bad cop, please give me a ping in Slack and I will triage as appropriate. I took care of a couple PRs that just seemed like they didn't belong in the milestone anymore. And I'm happy to apply that pressure as needed. Okay. Seriously, thank you all so much. It's like I was super freaked out by like getting sick. You all have done a tremendously wonderful and amazing job. So I feel so much better already. So let's keep it up. We're making great progress. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy Thursday.